Sox-Yankees war has featured a year's worth of intensity, packed into this one weekend in April. It's Patriots Day. It's a classic Sox-Yankees battle, and it's next on NESN. Live from Fenway Park in Boston, NESN presents exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball. Today, the Red Sox take on the New York Yankees. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball on this Patriots Day, the finale of the four-game series. The Red Sox have taken 2 of 3. There have been some great games from Fenway Park, but some other things going on as well, Jerry.
Well, the games have been pretty good, and of course, the Red Sox lead the series 2-1, but there have been other things going on within the game. Some messages being sent by pitches on both clubs. We go back to Saturday, and first of all, we see Pedro Martinez hitting Giambi in his first at-bat. Pedro feeling that Giambi very close to the plate. On the next at-bat, he drills him on the side. David Wells retaliates with one behind Trot Nixon. Okay, warnings are sent to both clubs. Then the next day, the game-winning home run by Shea Hillenbrand. And the next time that Rivera faces Hillenbrand yesterday in the ball game, one up and in under the chin to send his messages. So there have been plenty of messages sent by both clubs. And this is a long series all season long. 16 games remaining, including today. We may see more of this stuff.
Well, the Yankees run out another terrific starter today. He'll be opposed by Derek Lowe as the Red Sox and Yankees do it again here on this Patriots Day. Andy Pettitte gets the start 1-0 with a 3.12 ERA. Fifth in the American League is Derek Lowe with his nifty 1.29 earned run average. Back with the starting lineups in the first pitch from Fenway after these messages. NESN's exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. By Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. And by your friends at Mobile, who remind you to use Speed Pass, today's way to pay. And a very happy Patriots Day to everybody here at Fenway Park. Mostly cloud-covered Fenway Park. The lights are on. On this late morning start time, the Red Sox and Yankees ready for the finale in this four-game series as the Red Sox look to take 3 of 4 from the Yankees. We take a look at the visiting Yankees starting lineup. Derek Jeter will lead it off, the shortstop. Nick Johnson bats second at first base. Bernie Williams, the switch-hitting center fielder, bats third. Jason Giambi, the DH, in the 4th spot. Jorge Posada does the catching. Robin Ventura, who's been red hot at the plate, bats 6th. Rondell White in left field. Shane Spencer in right bats 8th, and Alfonso Soriano plays at second base, and he bats 9th.
The defense this afternoon for the Red Sox: Shea Hillenbrand at third base, Nomar Garciaparra the shortstop, Ray Sanchez at second, Tony Clark back at first, Henderson, Damon, and Nixon in the outfield, Veritek behind the plate, and on the mound, right-handed Derek Lowe. Start number 3, the record of 1-1, the win coming against Baltimore, the loss against Kansas City in his last outing, but pitched very well in that game, pitching against a Yankee club that he is 2-5 with 5 saves in his career.
Ready to go as Derek Jeter is in on the right side. He fights the first pitch off, fouling it back to the backstop. Jeter at 281 with a home run and 8 runs batted in. Derek was 1 for 3 with a pair of walks and a stolen base in yesterday's Yankee win here at Fenway Park. And today marks the 3rd straight game in which he has led off this season at the top of the Yankees lineup. Lowe ready, and the 1-1. He'll miss. 2-1 to Jeter.
Derek Lowe's ERA of 1.29 is currently 5th best in the American League.
And really able to get off on the season's right foot in that game against Baltimore, in which he almost no-hit the Baltimore Orioles. And of course the fine starts that he had last year at the tail end of last year when his role changed. Ready with the 2-2. Jeter with a check swing number down the line. Lowe will have to go to first, and it is in time. Kind of pushed it towards Tony Clark. Clark was able to make the catch, and Jeter's retired for the inning's first out.
Derek Lowe had to go back to his basketball background here. It looked like first he wanted to make the tag on Derek Jeter, then had to jump like going for a rebound. And then the over-the-top flip to get him at first base. Nice play there by Derek Lowe.
One away, and it brings up Nick Johnson, the left-handed hitting first baseman for the Yankees. Made his major league debut a year ago. And there to start the season for the Yankees this year, and he's hitting the backside.
Well, we talked about it in the open. There have been messages sent by both clubs in this series. Pedro a couple of times to Giambi. David Wells behind. Trot Nixon, and of course Hillenbrand getting dusted yesterday. Well, right off the backside, Derek Lowe against Nick Johnson.
The center fielder, Bernie Williams.
One out, one on, and Bernie Williams coming up. If you're going to do it, I guess that's the way to do it. He didn't really throw at his head in any regard, hitting him in the backside. I have to say the way that Mariano Rivera went after Shea Hillenbrand is not the way to do it. Bernie Williams at 191 so far in the young season as he takes strike one. Blowing in from center field currently, kind of a swirling wind today. And a chill to the air as we begin this Patriots Day, the finale of the 4-game series. Quick check on Nick Johnson, who's back in plenty of time. Not a large lead by any means. Red Sox infield, a double play depth with one away. That misses, making it 1-1.
Nick Johnson at first base has one steal on the season. He's also been caught one time. Yankees as a team have 9 steals. The Red Sox 4.
Williams bats now with Jason Giambi waiting on deck. But first, another check of Nick Johnson back in plenty of time.
Yankees last year really gave Derek Lowe a difficult time. He had a 1-2 record with 1 save, but an 8.59 ERA against New York.
Last time out for Derek against the Kansas City Royals here at Fenway, losing his last start 6-2. And again, another start in which Derek Lowe hung around a long time, 7 innings in his last outing. And again, check on Johnson, back in plenty of time. Red Sox and Yankees met last year on Patriots Day, a Boston victory. Mike Mussina against Frank Castillo a year ago. Red Sox won here 4-1 against the Yankees last Patriots Day. Two and two to Bernie Williams with Jason Giambi waiting on deck. Derek Lowe 2 and 5 with a 7.34 earned run average against the Yankees in his career. In the air to left center field. Johnny Damon coming over. So is Ricky Henderson. It'll be Henderson who makes the catch for the inning's second out. 2 down.
Let's take a look at today's game notes brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. The Red Sox 56 and 47 record all time on this 11 o'clock start on Patriots Day. The Yankees have made 13 errors. That's the most to this point in the American League. The Red Sox this series a .333 average with men in scoring position, 7 for 21.
2 down. Nick Johnson still at first, and it brings up Jason Giambi, the designated hitter. Batting from the left side, Giambi at .271 so far with his new ball club. And the first one misses, framed by Veritek, but home plate umpire Larry Young not biting. Giambi with 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Both the home runs came on the same day in Toronto for Giambi, and of course he had a 4-hit night in his first game of the series on Friday night here at Fenway Park. Was 1 for 3 with a walk yesterday. One hopper snared by Sanchez. Lots of time, and he takes care of Giambi. So the Yankees are gone at the top of the first. They leave a man. Red Sox coming up. Back at Fenway, the Yankees don't score on the top of the first. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first inning. Ricky Henderson will lead it off today for the Red Sox. Johnny Damon out in center field bats second. Omar Garciaparra in the 3 spot with Manny in the DH role, bats fourth. Then on fire, his bats awake now, 5 for 10 in the series. Tony Clark at first base with Shea Hillenbrand at third. Jason Veritek bats seventh and catches. Trot Nixon out in right field bats eighth, and Ray Sanchez at second base bats ninth.
The Yankees are currently last in the league in defense, 13 errors in their 13 games. Robin Ventura at third base, Derek Jeter the shortstop, Alfonso Soriano at second, and Nick Johnson at first. Left to right, Rondell White, Bernie Williams, and Shane Spencer. Jorge Posada behind the plate, and on the mound, left-hander Andy Pettitte. Start number 3. The record of 1-0, 3.12 ERA. That win coming in his first outing against Tampa Bay. Lost his last game against Toronto. 2 2/3 innings in that ball game. Against the Red Sox in his career, 9-3, and very impressive here at Fenway. 4-1 with a 2.85 ERA. That's in 8 games, 7 of those starts for Pettitte.
And if anybody gets on, don't forget about the move that Andy Pettitte has. He has 61 career pickoffs. 7 last year, the highest total in the major league since 1995. A nasty pickoff move. He'll first deal with Ricky Henderson here in the bottom of the first inning. Ricky 2 for 7 with the Red Sox. No homers and no runs batted in. And Ricky takes the first one for a ball. And with a stolen base in the series. Made him the oldest player to steal a base since Dave Winfield back in '95. Winfield was 43 years of age and 7 months, and Ricky stealing his first base as a member of the Red Sox over the weekend. Evens out at 1-1 now to Henderson. Andy Pettitte 1-0, making his 3rd appearance of the year. A 1-1 to Henderson. In there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Oftentimes you see Ricky look back in the direction of the home plate umpire. He certainly knows the strike zone. As the all-time walks holder in Major League Baseball, past Babe Ruth last year. .063 walks last year. On April the 25th, he passed Babe Ruth to become baseball's all-time career leader in walks. One of the other records that he has smashed over the course of his career. Slices this foul down beyond the Boston dugout, and it's still 2-2 to Henderson.
Well, Don, if this game wraps up in the next 20 minutes, you still have time to get out there and start the marathon.
I don't think that's going to happen, Jerry. I understand you've gone with Zhu Ling Bong.
Something like that, yeah. He won it last year.
You're coming back with him again this year.
He's in better shape this year. Plus, he's getting married in the next couple of days, so got something to run for. Money.
Well, the temperatures are, how would you describe this? I guess cool.
Dank.
Kind of raw here this afternoon. I'm not sure if that's good running conditions or not. And 2-2 misses, and it runs full now to Ricky 3-2. Because they don't run marathons, I have no idea whether this is good running weather or bad running weather.
If it stays like this, it'll be very good. But if that sun comes out a little bit later, it will not be good because it's supposed to warm up.
Pettit has had to throw a lot of pitches here to Rickey. The payoff pitch. Sliced foul. He'll have to throw some more as Rickey fights it off down the right side. Again, Pettit ready in the payoff pitch. Line to center field. Base hit for Rickey Henderson. Lengthy at bat, gets a pitch in which to work with and drives a base hit into center.
Rickey's always done very well against Andy Pettit. 381 coming into the game. He really made him work hard in that first at bat. Threw a lot of pitches, and finally Rickey ends up with the base hit on the fastball to straightaway center field. This will be interesting now. As you mentioned, Pettit, one of the best pickoff moves in all of baseball. And, of course, one of the best base stealers of all time at first base.
Rickey's 3,003 hits. Most among active players as Damon drags one down the first baseline. But tagged out there by Johnson, and on to second base goes Rickey Henderson.
Damon working against Pettit, the left-hander, decides to go ahead and try the sacrifice. And not a bad play because it's not easy to get a jump, as you mentioned, with that pickoff move. So go to the sacrifice, get Henderson in the scoring position.
Now you jump into the meat of the order. Nomar Garciaparra. Around 300 so far in the early going at 297. 3 homers and 6 runs batted in for Nomar. 2 for 4 yesterday. And the homestand has seen him go 5 for 18 between Kansas City and New York. Nomar out after the first pitch, slicing it foul back to the backstop. Garciaparra taking the first game of the series off on Friday night, but has been in there ever since. The Red Sox, after the ball game, will travel to Toronto for a brief 2-game series north of the border against the Jays, beginning tomorrow night. Nomar lines this to left center field, back by the wall, up off the wall. Rickey Henderson will easily score. Nomar's into second with a ribby double, and the Red Sox are on top 1-0.
Starting now to get on track. A couple of hits in the ball game yesterday. Pettit hangs the breaking ball here, and Garciaparra plants it up against that left field wall. Picks up his 7th RBI. So after the sacrifice to get Henderson to second base, Garciaparra drives him in with the double.
Now with first base vacant, they're not even going to pitch to Manny. How about this in the bottom of the first inning for respect? It almost threw the first one away. Jorge Posada had to lunge down and back towards the plate to recover that first pitch.
Well, it makes sense because you've got a guy on deck, Tony Clark, who is in the middle of an 0 for 22 slump, struggling.
Ayers has been hot in the series, 5 for 10. And yesterday the 2-run home run as he posted a 1 for 4 afternoon. They take the bat from his hands in his first plate appearance of the afternoon here in the last of the first inning.
Second time Ramirez has been intentionally walked.
Batting fifth, number 22, the first baseman.
So Ramirez at first, Garciaparra at second, 1 down. And Tony Clark, as Jerry mentioned, neared in a slump right now, 0 for his last 22 at just 152 on the season. And the first one up and away, ball 1. Clark did have 4 hits in his first 9 at-bats to start the season, but since then is hitless in his last 22 at-bats. Did not have a hit on the homestand. 0 for 20 since returning to Fenway Park. Pettit with the 1-0.
Andy Pettit with the fastball, the cut fastball, curveball, and changeup.
Only allowed 15 home runs in his last 41 games. And a check swing from Clark. Did it go? No. It's his first base umpire, Bill Miller, and it's 2-1. Usually when Pettit gives up a home run, it's with no one on. Only 9 of his last 32 home runs allowed have come with men on base. Pettit ready with the 2-1. Clark fouls it back below us, evening it up at 2-2. Tony can stay out of the double play. Shea Hillenbrand would be next. Omar stands at second. Manny Ramirez, after being intentionally walked, is at first. 1 down in the last of the first inning. Osada gives Pettit the sign. The 2-2. On the ground towards Jeter. Bobbles it. And the Yankees' defensive woes continue. Into the ball game with a league-leading 13 errors. And this one will lead to the bases loaded with 1 down.
Looked like the strategy was going to pay off, but Joe Torre looked to be a double play ball, but Jeter can't make the play. He'll pick up his first error. And a huge break here for the Red Sox. Hot as that ball was hit, this would have been an easy double play, but right off the heel of the glove for Jeter. Can't pick it up, can't get it out.
When you have an opportunity like this against Andy Pettit, you got to take advantage of it because he is liable to settle in. And the Red Sox have a golden opportunity here in the last of the first inning. A run already pushed across. The bases are loaded for Shea Hillenbrand at 385. 4 homers, 12 RBIs to go along with the hefty batting average. And is ahead 1-0. Hillenbrand 1 for 4 yesterday, beginning the season with a 10-game hitting streak. Surpassing the hitting streak that began last year of 9 games. The 1-0. This is Lowe again, and it's 2-0. 2 hits in the inning, single and a double, an intentional walk and an error. The Yankees' 14th error of the season. The majority of their errors have been committed by their second baseman Alfonso Soriano, who has been charged with 6 out of the gate for the Yankees. It gets a sign from Posada. Ready with the 2-0 pitch. Hillenbrand ahead 3-0.
And the way Hillenbrand has been swinging, he just may get the green light. 3-0. 10-game hitting streak for Shea.
Garcia Parra at third. Manny Ramirez at second. Tony Clark at first. 1 out, last of the first inning. Hillenbrand takes it, and Pettit was not close with any of the 4 pitches. Nomar comes from third. It's 2-0 Red Sox. Mel Stottlemyre will come to the mound here in the last of the first inning. Remember, last time out for Pettit was a very brief outing, just 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits on 4 runs. Threw a lot of pitches, 57 for 2 2/3, but he's not coming off one of his better outings, and this one has not started very well for the lefty.
Well, really, he should be out of this inning with only giving up the 1 run. He had the ground ball that looked like it was going to be a double play from Tony Clark. Instead, the error by Jeter. And any good hitting team, you just can't give more outs than they're supposed to have in an inning.
His next pitch of this inning will be the 25th of his outing. He's had to expend a lot of energy so far here in the last of the first inning. Now dealing with the switch hitting catcher Jason Varitek on the right side. Jason swings at the first pitch through. Nick Johnson into right. Ramirez will score. Here comes Tony Clark.
They're going to call him out because that ball did hit Shea Hillenbrand.
Got a piece of him on the way by?
Yeah, it did. Hillenbrand is going to be out for interference. Everybody's going to have to go back.
Dirty Little will argue it. Clark had come in, as had Ramirez. Ramirez is in the dugout. Clark now will head back to third. Well, Shea is out. Why is he going back to second?
Shea should be the one called out, if I'm not mistaken. And the base runner should reach first base. If Hillenbrand got hit with the ball, he should be out. Here's one more look at it. You'll see Varitek going the other way, and it looks like it just might have got a piece of the foot of Shea Hillenbrand. You can see Nick Johnson pointing to him right away. So, yeah, Hillenbrand's going to be called out. He's going back to the dugout. That'll be the second out of the inning. Tony Clark will go back to second. And Manny Ramirez will go back to third. So the Red Sox will not get a run out of that.
Varitek will be at first base.
And I believe he's credited with a base hit.
Would I go 3 unassisted on that situation? In terms of scoring purposes?
It's a base hit to Varitek. Anytime a guy gets hit like that, the hitter is given a hit. And the runners are out on interference.
So Varitek stands at first, Clark at second, Ramirez at third. And Pettit helped out a little bit by the fact that it hit Shea Hillenbrand. Trot Nixon stands in on the left side. Gets away from Posada, no advance for any of the runners. Manny retreating back to the bag at third.
By the way, the put out there would go to the first baseman, Nick Johnson.
And 3 there. They have not yet given a hit to Jason Varitek.
They will.
Nixon, the number 8 hitter, with a home run, a run batted in at .216 so far in the young season. And Nixon takes a strike, 1-1. Nixon, the 8th man to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. With 3 grand slams in his career, .238 hitter with the bases loaded, 34 runs batted in. Popped up, back at third, Jeter ranging out to the short lawn and left. He'll take care of it, and the Red Sox are gone. They do push across a pair in the bottom of the first. Played 1 from Fenway, 2-0 Red Sox.
Back at Fenway, kind of a wild first inning. The Red Sox have the 2-0 lead. Let's take a look at the batting leaders around baseball. Brought to you by New England Ford dealers. Ellis Burks at .419. Carlos Delgado, we'll see him the next 2 days at .410. Kenny Lofton at .400. Shea Hillenbrand .385. And Soriano .370. In the National League, Mike Barrett of Montreal starting hot. Mike Lowell of Florida. Barry Bonds at .407. Alex Gonzalez .381. And Todd Zeile .375. The batting leaders around baseball. Brought to you by those great New England Ford dealers.
Derek Lowe now has a two-run lead in which to work with as we head to the second inning. Posada, Ventura, and Rondell White. The trio featured for the Yankees into the second. Posada at .317 so far in the season. And takes the first one for a strike.
A curveball by Lowe. He didn't throw many of those in his last outing against Kansas City.
Jorge 1 for 4 yesterday for the Yankees. Started the year 0 for 9, but has come on since then. 13 for 34 at .382. Since his 0 for 9 showing to begin the year. Rounded down the first baseline, a fair ball. Posada never leaves the batter's box, and Clark takes care of it alone, one away.
I guess Posada thought that ball was going to go to foul territory. Never did. Hugged the line down the first baseline, and Posada an easy out. Curveball again from Derek Lowe. And see where that hit. Posada believed it was going to go foul, but no, it kicks back to fair territory. And an easy play for Tony Clark.
One away for Robin Ventura. Takes the first one for a ball. Hit a solo home run yesterday, his 5th of the season. 4 hits in his last 18 at bats for Ventura. And he taps this one foul above the Boston dugout on the first base side. 1-1. There's one less home run than Oakland's Eric Chavez, who has 6 home runs so far in the season. Ventura second in the American League in home runs. In there for the strike over the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Well, Derek Lowe is going well if he can get some ground ball outs. He has 3 so far of the 4 putouts that he has in the ball game. Lowe coming in at 1-1 with a nifty 1.29 earned run average. As he plays 5th. The American League. Another ground ball. Garcia-Parra rounds in behind it. Sidearm toss and plenty of time. 2 away.
Batting 7, number 27, the left fielder.
4 in a row retired now by Derek Lowe. Rondell White making his way to the plate. He hit a solo home run yesterday, his 3rd of the year. 12 hits in his last 36 at bats. Year 1 of a 2-year deal with the Yankees. Evans up at 1-1 now to White. If he can get on to continue the inning, Shane Spencer would be next, as the Yankees bat here in the visiting half of the second inning.
Good sinker there by Derek Lowe.
It was nasty. 1-2.
Watch the bottom fall right out of this pitch.
Two and two, the count to Rondell White. Got him to retire this side. Derek Lowe comes up with the first strikeout of his outing. The Yankees go 1-2-3 in the second. The end of an inning and a half. 2-0 Boston. Last of the second inning back at Fenway. Red Sox posting a pair of runs. Hey, Wally's out today. Some photo ops.
He's a morning person. He loves these morning games.
Ray Sanchez, the only member of the Red Sox not to bat in the last of the first inning. Leads it off as we head to the second. 3-10 so far for Ray. who has seen the bulk of his action from the number 9 spot in the Red Sox order. So a very productive number 9 hitter so far in the season. Andy Pettitte giving up 3 hits in that first inning. Walk 2. One was of the intentional variety of Manny Ramirez. On the ground towards Soriano. He's had his trouble so far in the year, but ably handles this one to retire Ray Sanchez for the first out in the last of the second inning.
One thing Soriano's been doing, it looks like he's coming up a little bit too soon on those ground balls. He had one go through his legs yesterday.
Number 35.
Sometimes you get in those bad habits, lifting up too quick. You got to fight yourself. Try to get that glove on the ground. Stay down.
On the way, Ricky Henderson 9 for 22 against Andy Pettitte. Had a base hit into center field in the first inning. One of 3 Boston hits. Long at bat against Andy Pettitte in his first at bat. Worked the count full, fouled off some pitches, and then lined it into center field. Check swing grounder towards Soriano at second again. And Henderson is out number 2 of the second inning.
Now, you made a good point, Don, back in the first inning. Guys like Pettitte, Clemens, Messina, if you get a chance to score some runs, you got to do it, because they're liable to turn things around, get hot, and shut you down the rest of the way. Red Sox got a couple in the first, had a chance for more.
Johnny Damon with a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. He's able to move Ricky Henderson into scoring position, and of course Ricky eventually scored the first Boston run. And with Henderson in there today, Johnny slips down to the number 2 spot in the Red Sox order. Snaps it fouled off the left side, backing out of play. Number 35 became somewhat of a tough number to come by for Ricky during spring training. First, he wanted to make sure that he would make the club, and then had to kind of jockey to get that number. And Oliver had been wearing it during spring, and he was really not overly pleased to give it up, but Ricky was able to coerce him to do so. Oliver switched his number, and Ricky wears the number 35. He, of course, wore the number 24 for the majority of his Hall of Fame career, but Manny Ramirez wearing that number. The Red Sox had given him 12, half of 24 when he arrived. Last worn by Chris Steins from a year ago.
Chris Steins is now with the Cubs, I believe, right?
Correct. One and 2 to Johnny Damon. Johnny can reach. Nomar Garciaparra waits on deck. In the air to center field. Bernie Williams has it in his sights. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the last of the second inning. Much quieter for Andy Pettitte. Through 2-0 Red Sox.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead after 2 innings. Will Sox fans come opening day, April 27th? Take Wally the Green Monster home with you. All fans 15 and under will receive a decorative Wally the Green Monster pennant, courtesy of Conn's Fenway Franks. For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX or log on to RedSox.com.
Top of the third inning, Shane Spencer, the Yankees right fielder, to lead it off. 2-11, no homers, no runs batted in for Spencer. Lowe out ahead, 0-2. It'll be Spencer, Alfonso Soriano, and Derek Jeter to face Lowe here in the third inning. Red Sox getting both their runs in the bottom of the first. Spencer was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Has just 1 hit in his last 15 at bats. Strike 3. Derek Lowe struck out Rondell White to close the second. He opens the third with a K of Shane Spencer, 1 down.
Strikeout high for Lowe, 3 in his last outing against Kansas City. Nasty pitch. Fastball outside corner, knee high. So back-to-back strikeouts for Derek Lowe.
That pitch there just about unhittable. If you swing at it, all you can hope to do is foul it off.
Now Alfonso Soriano, the number 9 hitter. Been a great year for him offensively so far. 370, 2 homers, and 6 runs batted in for the Yankees second baseman. Soriano is 2 for 4. Scored a couple of runs yesterday. Had an RBI double and a solo home run here. Part of the Yankee victory. That pitch fooled him, and it's 1-1. 17 for his last 35. It's a second straight opening day start for him as the Yankees second baseman. Just kind of pushed Chuck Knobloch. Well, actually, Chuck Knobloch pushed himself really to the outfield with his inability to throw to first base. And Soriano had been playing third and then some outfield. Moved into second base and was there all of last year, back for his second season in that capacity. Last year he had 11 home runs from his number 9 spot in the order for the Yankees and Joe Torre. This year off to a 2 home run start here on just April the 15th. Got in. Back-to-back Ks for Lowe. In fact, 3 in all, 2 down here in the third.
Lowe so far has excellent movement and sink on his fastball. He goes down and in that time to Soriano. Soriano swing above the baseball. Well, he's made some quality pitches here in the third inning.
4 ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts. The only thing in the air was Bernie Williams' pop out to left field. Now retired 7 Yankees in a row, back up to the top of the order. Little number on the run is Shea Hillenbrand, and in time. It's a nifty and quick 1-2-3, top of the third inning. 2.5 done from Fenway, 2-0 Red Sox. NESN's exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. And by Applebee's. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood Applebee's. Back at Fenway, 2.5 complete and 3 innings done for that gentleman, Derek Lowe, who through the first 3 has had just 1 Yankee reach. That was Nick Johnson, and he hit him in the backside. He has struck out 3 and has a total of 4, make that 5 ground ball outs. He's had 6 of 10 first pitch strikes to the Yankee hitters. And now he turns it over to the Boston offense here for the last of the third. Garcia Power, Ramirez, and Tony Clark to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Andy Pettit, who by no fault of his own, not much in the way of defense in behind him, and some other problems in the first, was fortunate to get out of that with the Red Sox gaining only 2 runs, settled down in the second, sending down Boston in order. Omar fouls it off the right side and is in the hole, 0-2. Omar, who had his quest for a potential 3rd batting title stopped last year. Of course, the injury. And this year back for hopefully another batting championship. Popped up. Round the bag at second. Soriano ranging into shallow right. And he'll take care of it for the first out. Now 5 in a row retired by Andy Pettit.
There it is again. Once you get ahead of Nomar, up and in with the fastball. See if he can get to that with the coming off the wrist surgery. This time Nomar will pop it up. Really tied him up inside. Tried to pull the hands in, but couldn't get extended on it.
Is that the most telling sign that he is okay?
Yeah, he had a couple of those in spring training, Don, you know, with no problem. And there's been no sign of any pain in his wrist, so things seem to be going along fine for Nomar.
Manny Ramirez intentionally walked his first time. lays off and takes strike one. Whereas yesterday with the 2-run home run. He's 6 for 10 so far this year with men on base, sitting at 600 with men on. And he is in the hole, 0-2. So Pettit started ahead of Nomar, now is ahead of Manny Ramirez, both down 0-2. Manny now with a walk in the first inning has 11 walks in the last 11 games, 2 intentionally. And to begin the season, he walked 4 times in the opener here at Fenway Park. It's the second time in his career that he's been walked 4 times in a game. Headed ready in the 1-2. Touchdown foul, and it hangs at 1-2. No, I beg your pardon. Maybe he didn't get a piece of that. Woodward has it at 2-2, and apparently did not offer, says Bill Miller at first. So the count is indeed 2-2. Off and it runs full now. Ramirez was down 0-2, but he's worked it back 3-2. At it with the payoff pitch. Ramirez grounds it at first. Johnson takes it. He's going to need some help. Pettit is there. And they retire Ramirez 3-1 on the putout, 2 down.
First start today for Nick Johnson at first base in this series. He had been the DH. Giambi switching spots with him today.
Number 22, the first baseman, Tony.
All hit pretty well
Lowe.
by Manny, but that last hop kind of explodes on Johnson. Makes a nice play, and then the hand flip to Andy Pettit covering the bag.
You heard Nick Johnson's name for a long time. Altino Martinez was at the big league level for the Yankees. A very big prospect, Nick Johnson. And the Yankees acquiring Jason Giambi during the offseason. Probably wondered where he was going to fit in. And the answer has been DH primarily. But a pretty good defensive first baseman by all accounts. Park 0 for his last 23. Carves the first one foul. Reached on an error committed by Derek Jeter back in the first inning. And this one bounces in for a ball. Who had to throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, has thrown 49 so far in his outing. This will be number 50 for the lefty. Let's cue foul off the end of the bat into the Boston dugout. Is the race underway yet? What time are we getting here?
High noon.
A minute away then.
Less than a minute, Don.
Inside a minute. When will they arrive here in Kenmore Square?
Winners will be here about 2:08.
The 1-2. Low, and it's even the 2-2. I can't imagine when you get to Heartbreak Hill there after, what is it, 20+ miles, you kind of hit that area, what that must be like. I can't imagine running a marathon anyway, but this is lashed foul into the seats down the third base line.
Well, when you get to Heartbreak Hill, that's where you hope all those carbohydrates you had last night start to pay benefit. I watched it a few years back from Wellesley, and I couldn't believe how fast that lead pack was going. It was almost like a sprint. And that's for 26 miles.
I saw the video. They were playing it last night, the winner from last year, and he didn't even look all that winded at the end of it. Smile.
Not a little run.
I would need an ambulance after about mile 4 as Clark chops a foul right around the plate.
Plus, it's great to watch the elite runners go, but there's so many tremendous stories, you know, that in the back of the pack. And those are the ones that I like to watch. People running for someone who's ill or someone who may have passed on.
And people who have fought their way back from cancer and other assorted diseases who come back and want to make a statement like running in the marathon. And many stories along those lines. The 2-2. Back up the middle. Soriano slips and falls, and it kicks off his glove. Clark will reach. Would have been a tough play. Back in the bag at second. Soriano has already been charged with 6 errors on the young season.
And not much you can do about this. Watch when he gets back on the grass. He's just going to slip on the outfield grass, which was a little bit wet today. There it is. And that throws all his balance off and everything else. I would think that'd probably go as a base hit. There's nothing he can do about slipping. And it does go as a hit for Clark, which will break, and 0 for 23.
So Soriano is probably happy with that, and Tony Clark has got to be happy with that after what has been a very tough stretch. Everybody's happy. Tony at first with 2 down, breaks up a string of 6 in a row, retired by Andy Pettitte. And here's Shea Hillenbrand, who walked in the first. His walk drove in a run with the bases loaded. 5 for 7 so far against left-handers, leading the American League in that category. Shea again very patient. 2-0. Last year Shea got a walk in the first week of April, did not walk again until May 25th. And Hillenbrand with his walk back in the first inning already has 3 walks this season. And he's ahead 3-0. His patience to me has been the #1 biggest thing in Shea's season so far this year, and the quality of the pitches that he's now seen as a result of the hitter's counts that he's been placed in. Takes it for a strike, and it's now 3-1.
Well, he can just pick a spot out in his zone. If it's not in that zone, you let it pass on the 3-1 count.
Tony Clark at first, being held on by Nick Johnson. 2 down, last of the 3rd. Throw over to first base. Clark back easily.
Clark had only about a 2-step lead over there at first base, well aware of the move of Andy Pettitte.
Not seen Pettitte enough to know what it is about his pickoff move that is so good.
Players who play against him don't know what it is. That's why they keep getting picked off.
The 3-1 chopped up over the mound. That'll find its way into center field. Tony Clark up 90 feet to second on Shea Hillenbrand's first hit of the afternoon, and the Red Sox have 2 on with 2 outs.
11 straight games now, a career high for Shea Hillenbrand as far as hitting streaks go. 3-1 count. He'll get the fastball and 1 big high hop over Andy Pettitte. So a couple of quick outs and then back-to-back hits. Actually 1 a gift hit. Soriano slipping on the grass. Hillenbrand the high bouncer up the middle.
Pettitte had retired 6 in a row before that gift hit and allowed Tony Clark to get on. Now Hillenbrand aboard, and 2 outs, 2 on. Jason Varitek the hitter. 476. He's had Andy Pettitte's number. 10 for 21 against the Yankees left-hander. Pettitte starts off ahead. Varitek, a defensive replacement yesterday. It was 0 for 1. Came on in the 8th inning defensively. And has hit safely in 5 of the first 8 games that he's played in. And it glances at second base at Tony Clark. Veritek in the hole now, 0-2. Now the 0-2 from Pettit. Veritek strikes out, kind of waved at that one, and Pettit comes back to record his first strikeout of his outing. Red Sox leave a pair through 3, 2-0 Boston.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Well, the Boston Bruins are back where they belong, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and NESN is your ticket to the action. It's the Bruins' first quest for the Cup in 3 seasons, and Thursday night, NESN's got the first game covered. Bruins Canadians at the Fleet Center, starting with Bruins Digest at 6:30 only on NESN.
Sox easily mastered the Yankees, mixed around a Remy sign.
Well, I don't know, not easy, but they do have the first 2 out of 3 and lead in this one.
Nick Johnson leads it off, was hit by a pitch in the first. He's the only Yankee to have reached against Derek Lowe through the first 3 innings. Johnson hit by pitches 6 times on the year, leading the American League. Little flare to left. Ricky started sideways. Now he comes on. He's able to make the catch, middle to cap high, 1 away. Time now to check out the Aflac trivia question.
Whack, whack.
What 2 pitchers have 50-plus career wins and saves for the Red Sox? We'll have the answer for you in the next half inning.
I think I know one of them.
Bernie Williams leading it off. You can't lead off with 1 away. 1 down. Here is Bernie Williams. Shows bunt. Pulls back and takes the strike. Bernie flied to left his first time. He's done well against Derek in 12 at bats, 5 for 12 with a home run. Bernie Williams having a tough start to the season, under 200 so far for the switch hitter. Last time out for Derek Lowe, a lot of his stuff was up, and when he was missing at times, he was missing up. Today, if he's missed, it's been low. So far, 5 ground ball outs, and that will miss. Now 3-1 to Bernie Williams. 3 strikeouts so far for Derek Lowe. He has not walked anyone as of yet. And he walks Bernie Williams. So there's the first walk of Derek's outing, and it comes with 1 down here in the 4th inning. And it'll bring up the Yankees DH, Jason Giambi, grounded out to second base his first time.
Jason Giambi.
Got a great road trip, 10 for 28 coming in at .357. MVP from 2000, was the runner-up for the American League MVP last year. Derek Lowe from the stretch. He moves it in there for a strike, 1-1.
Not much action today in the AL. Baltimore, Chicago, Seattle, and Texas. Seattle 10-3 already. And of course, Texas really struggling, 3-9.
And how about the Tigers, who lost again yesterday? They're now 0-11 to begin the year.
They will not lose today.
They're there for the strike, and it's now 1-2.
See where Texas pulled off a triple play in that game yesterday. Very strange triple play. Kenny Rogers involved. They had a throw at the plate, and one at second base, and then a rundown or something like that.
And Seattle now 10-3 on the year. They've won 7 in a row and not missed a beat. James Baldwin going in there really for Aaron Seeley, and he's done very well, including beating Seeley last week. The 1-2 down the line and right. This will fall for a base hit. Nixon over quickly to gather it while Bernie Williams scampers to third. There's the first Yankees hit, and it comes 3 1/3 deep into Derek Lowe's outing.
Number 20.
Like it might have been a cut fastball there from Derek Lowe, and Giambi cleans it out for the base hit. Williams easily goes into third, so the Yankees now with a little something going, a walk in the base hit.
So runners at the corners, one away. Here's Jorge Posada, grounded out to first unassisted in the second inning, ably handled by Tony Clark the first time. Out after the first one, chops it. Clark again will go to second for one. The return throw to first is not in time, and Williams scores from third with the first Yankees run. So Posada able to get down the line, and the Yankees put their first run across. Now 2-1 Red Sox.
Tell you what, the Red Sox almost completed an incredible double play. Lowe did not go over to cover first base, and Ray Sanchez, the second baseman, watch him get over to cover first. The only play there was for Clark to go to second. I didn't think they had any chance of getting the deuce, and it was very close at first. Good hustle play here by Ray Sanchez. He sees that Lowe did not get to first base, so he gets over to cover, and they almost get it. Good heads-up play there by Ray Sanchez at second base.
Two down here in the top of the fourth. The Yankees have their first run. Jorge Posada being held on at first base by Tony Clark, and here's Robin Ventura grounded out to shortstop his first time. Lowe starts off ahead. Ventura with 5 home runs so far in the season. Yesterday with a solo home run. Acquired from New York, the Mets in December, part of the David Justice deal. Justice ended up not staying with the Mets. Lowe's thrown 50 pitches so far in his outing. We have 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Cloninger got fired up. He was ejected over the weekend. On the ground and outside at first and foul, and the count is 2-2. Yankees have gathered their first hit of the contest and their first run, both coming here in the fourth inning. Jason Giambi with a base hit to right. Going now at the 2-2. Over the inside corner, strike 3. The fourth strikeout for Derek Lowe. The Yankees pick up a run. 3.5 complete from Fenway. 2-1 Red Sox. Back at Fenway, it's 2-1 Red Sox as we get ready for the last of the fourth inning. The Red Sox compiling their 2 runs in the last of the first inning. Omar Garciaparra with his wall ball double. Off the wall in left field, it scored Ricky Henderson and gave the Red Sox a 1-0 advantage. Hillenbrand would walk with the bases loaded to give Boston their second run. Ricky Henderson leading off today for the Red Sox, a single and a run scored. Andy Pettitte departs after 3 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 1. You see the fine line of Derek Lowe, who just gave up his first run and hit in the top of the fourth inning. And for some reason, Andy Pettitte, who had really settled down quite nicely over the last 2 innings in the second and third, has left the game, and the Yankees have brought on right-hander Adrian Hernandez from the bullpen.
Hernandez at AAA, 1 game this year. That was at Louisville. 5 innings in that game, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. Called up by the Yankees from AAA Columbus on Friday. Andy Schultz sent back to the minor league. So if we get any word on what happened with Andy Pettit, we'll certainly pass it along.
Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre talking things over. Well, the answer to our Aflac trivia question. The question today was, what two pitchers had 50-plus career wins and saves for the Red Sox?
Now batting for the Red Sox.
Were you correct?
I was correct with Bob Stanley, but I had no idea about Ellis Kinder.
Now you know. Ellis Kinder, Bob Stanley, our answers today. Trot Nixon, Ray Sanchez, and Ricky Henderson will face Adrian Hernandez here in the last of the fourth inning. Adrian Hernandez, born in Cuba, resides in Tampa, Florida during the offseason. Signed a 4-year deal June the 2nd of 2000, so still plenty of time left on it, 2 years after this year.
They call him Little El Duque. I saw him in spring training a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, he made his major league debut against the Red Sox last season.
Split time last year between the Yankees and AAA Columbus. Had 3 different stints with the Yankees and was 0-3 in 6 games and 3 starts. Made his major league debut here at Fenway, as Jerry mentioned, on the 21st of April. He defected from Havana, Cuba to Guatemala in January of 2000. Line to right, and that'll fall for a base hit. Front of Shane Spencer, who plays it on a hop. Nixon has his first hit of the afternoon, and that's 6 in all now for Boston.
Sure, Trot Nixon was quite surprised and quite pleased as his at bat comes up to see Andy Pettit out of the game and the right-hander in the game. Jumps on that fastball for the base hit.
Now Ray Sanchez, who grounded out to second base his first time in the second inning. Hernandez working from the stretch. In the left for a base hit. Well positioned and into left field. Back-to-back base hits for the Red Sox to open up the last of the fourth inning.
I didn't notice, Don, but was he warming up in the bullpen?
Yes, he was.
He was. Ray Sanchez jumps on the first fastball inside and pulls it between Jeter and Ventura. So a couple of quick hits here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the fourth inning.
They read his line, but they didn't say anything further, did they not, from our squawk box here?
I didn't hear it.
We can tell you about the line. They did not apparently add any information as of yet. 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. That had walked 2 and struck out 1 and left after just 3 innings. Ricky Henderson was 1 for 2 against Pettit. Gets his first look at Adrian Hernandez and swings at the first offering. New England natives may have seen Adrian Hernandez work in Double-A Norwich in 2000. In 6 starts there as a starter, he was 5-1 for the Norwich Navigators. Henderson with a hit and a run scored in this one already. In there for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Ricky. Mr. Adrian Hernandez was on the DL on 2 different occasions, once with a sore right elbow and then the second time with a sprained left knee. So 3 stints with the Yankees, 2 stints on the DL. And back here for 2002. He is 0-2. Swung on and missed. Quick work of Ricky Henderson, and there's 1 down.
Quickly got ahead of Henderson, dropped down to the side a little bit more with the slider, and got Ricky to chase a bad pitch away.
Number 18, the center fielder, Johnny Damon.
One away, and here's Johnny Damon. Sacrifice bunt in the first, fly to center in the second. for a strike over the outside corner that time. The inning began with Trot Nixon singling to right. Ray Sanchez singled to left. Back-to-back hits from the 8 and 9 hitters for the Red Sox. Henderson strikes out Johnny Damon with a count of 0-1. In the air to left, sending Rondell White back now in and makes the adjustment in time to make the catch. That one fooled him out of the gate, but he's able to recover, and there's 2 outs.
Now the danger of that play there when you fool is that if you're going to slip on that grass, the outfield grass is a little bit damp from the overnight rain. Rondell White able to come in and make the catch for the second out. Fooled a little bit. Big swing, and ball didn't travel very far.
Two quick hits to begin the inning, but since then 2 quick outs. Nixon still at second, Sanchez at first, and here's Nomar 1 for 2 with a RBI double back in the first inning. A swing and a miss. I think we're getting a report on Andy Pettit, and as soon as we get it, we will pass it along. Pettit is left here today after just 3 innings of work.
Well, the word we get is Pettit had a little tenderness in his left elbow, so removed for precautionary measures.
The 0-1 to Nomar. In the dirt. Posada does a great job at boxing it down. 1-1.
Well, actually bounced off the chest protector, then the mask, and knocked it right off. Nice job, though, by Posada. Try to catch it, just block it, and take a beating.
Nixon at second, Sanchez at first, 2 away, and a 1-run game here in the last of the 4th inning. The 1-1. Nomar grounds it foul above the Yankees dugout on the third base side. It is a gloomy day. I think they're forecasting this gloominess to kind of burn away, but you can't see the top of the Prue right now. A raw, damp day here on this Patriots Day at Fenway. Adrian Hernandez with a long look at Nixon at second. And the 1-2. In the air off third base. Robin Ventura ranging over, but he'll run out of real estate as it drifts back 5 or 6 rows deep into the crowd.
Old friend Don Zimmer, former manager of the Red Sox, used to talk about April here in Boston. He'd say, yeah, every day is 39 and drizzle. Well, not quite 39 today, and a little bit of drizzle, but that's how he referred to April in Boston.
Not all that far off, really, though.
How's the weather going to be? 39 and drizzle.
Don Zimmer of actor fame as of late. Along with a book that came out last year. A lot of things going on in Zim's life these days. Nomar waiting on the 1-2 from Adrian Hernandez. Foul back in our direction. And off the top of the booth to our left. The Yankees having to turn it over to their bullpen early in this one. Last time Pettit worked, he went 2 2/3 before being lifted. Today leaving for precautionary reasons after 3 innings, but nevertheless, Yankees delving into their bullpen early in this one. The 1-2 to Nomar. Got a piece, just a piece, fouling it back to the backstop.
There's been one breaking ball after another by Hernandez to Nomar.
Hernandez off the backside of the mound. In the midst of a meeting with himself. Now toes the rubber down 1-2. Nomar can get on to continue the inning. Manny Ramirez waiting on deck. At first, a bit of business here. The 1-2. Inside.
Fastball up and in. See if he goes back now to the breaking ball again.
Here's Manny waiting on deck. Intentionally walked in the first, grounded out in the third. Hernandez with a long pause and the 2-2. Got him. Away from Nomar, he goes lunging. Second strikeout for Hernandez. The Red Sox leave a pair on. The end of 4, 2-1 Boston. Play 4 from Fenway with the Red Sox on top 2-1. Derek Lowe has turned in a terrific outing through the first 4 innings. His only walk that he has relinquished through the first 4 turned into a run for the Yankees. Bernie Williams walked with 1 away in the 4th and came around on a ground out by Jorge Posada. Deals with the bottom third of the Yankees order. Rondell White with a big cut evens the count at 1-1. White at 869 games at .295 over the course of his career. 123 home runs to his credit. White evens it up again, 2-2.
Some nasty sinkers in this game to Rondell White, and to this point he hasn't been able to make contact on that pitch.
White, of course, coming up in the Expos system. Spending 6 years as a member of the Montreal Expos. Actually more than that. Scratch that, 8 years as a member of the Montreal Expos. Then part of 2000 and 2001 with the Cubs. Played 95 games last year with the Cubs. Strikes out here. It's the 5th K for Derek Lowe. 1 away in the top of the 5th.
Once again, the sinker. This one stays a little bit higher, but still no contact, keeping it inside on Rondell White. Bottom of the order having a tough time making contact against Lowe. 2 strikeouts for White. Spencer has struck out. Soriano has struck out.
Now Shane Spencer went down looking in the 3rd and fouls the first one back. Spencer, 30 years of age. Took him a long time to get to the big leagues. First year of pro ball was 90. Did not reach the major leagues until 98. Originally a 28th round pick of the Yankees back in 1990. In the hole, 1-2. 'Lowe with the kick and the pitch. Struck him out. Back-to-back Ks here to open the 5th. 6 strikeouts in all for Derek Lowe. 2 down.
And nothing tricky either about these strikeouts to the bottom of the order. It's basically all fastballs. Good, hard, sinking fastballs.
The second baseman, Alfonso Soriano.
All the strikeouts belong to the bottom 4. Ventura, White, Spencer, and Soriano. White and Spencer have each K'd on 2 occasions. Here is Soriano batting for the 2nd time. And again, Lowe starts off ahead. And 2. Lowe has struck out 3 Yankees hitters in a row. Ventura to close the 4th. He's opened the 5th with strikeouts of White and Spencer. Adds Soriano to the list. Derek Lowe strikes out the side in the top of the 5th inning. Halfway through this one, 2-1 Boston. 4.5 deep into this one. Red Sox on top 2-1. 4 strikeouts in a row for Derek Lowe. 7 in all. It's time now to check out the Heineken What's on Tap. Tuesday and Wednesday north of the border in Toronto, both on NESN. Our coverage beginning at 6:30. Then it's on to Kansas City. Friday and Saturday on Fox 25. We will rejoin you from Kansas City on Sunday afternoon. The Red Sox on this next trip after the ball game today. Toronto, Kansas City, and then back to Baltimore for returning to Fenway Park. Last of the fifth, Manny Ramirez walked intentionally in the first, grounded out in the third. Adrian Hernandez back out there after an inning of relief in the fourth. He gave up back-to-back hits, but then settled down, striking out Ricky Henderson, getting Damon to fly out, and then striking out Nomar swinging to end the fourth. Ramirez, Tony Clark, and Shea Hillenbrand. Manny in just 2 at-bats is 2 for 2 with a home run against the Yankee right-handed reliever. Hernandez reaches in and brings the 1-1. This is juice down the left field line, but foul, ripped into the crowd. Manny out ahead of that, and it's 1-2. Ramirez 5 for 11 now in this series against the Yankees. New York, who is on the road against Toronto before coming here to Boston, will return home and host the Baltimore Orioles beginning tomorrow. Manny with a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Bill Miller. They ring him up. Third strikeout for Hernandez. 1 away.
Manny could not control the head of the bat. It's a bad breaking ball. Actually, Hernandez looks like he slips as he makes this pitch. Posada, a nice job on the one hop, and then applies the tag, asks for help, and he got the correct call for what he was looking for from Miller, the first base umpire.
Tony Clark could be the next hitter. Reached on an error in the first, and then reached on an infield hit in the third to break up the string of 0 for 23 for Tony Clark. Is it me, or has it gotten a lot colder here in the last inning?
You know, I think the wind has shifted a little bit. That sea breeze blowing in toward home plate. Apparently this fog and junk not burning off as quickly as they thought.
Let's see the tops of the buildings downtown from here. On a raw, damp afternoon on this Patriots Day. The 1-1 to Tony Clark. And this is inside, 2-1.
It's been so chilly, I had to don my Nesson jacket from the back there, which has been hanging out here for about 5 years. A little bit dirty, but
very nice.
Serves a purpose, that's for sure.
Very, very nice. Does it have your name on it just to make sure that it's yours?
Just Nesson.
The 2-1. Clark hits it in the air down the right field line towards the pole. It is curling its way foul. Distance, but well foul down that right field line. So that hangs up during the offseason as well back there waiting for you.
This has not left the booth in at least 4 or 5 years.
So you haven't sent it out to get it washed at any point recently either.
No, when you beginning of the season you go like this. It's all set, ready to go.
A little crusty. Two and 2 to Tony Clark. Shea Hillenbrand waits on deck. And this is away, and it's a full count. We got a neat thing coming up here. We're going to be visiting our good friend Tom Caron in the crowd. There's a couple of very famous ownership types along with him, and we will get to that in a moment. The payoff pitch. Our foul back to the backstop.
I'll bet you one's a football owner.
Well, it's kind of a timely thing on this Patriots Day to involve, I don't want to ruin it, but the owner of the Patriots. There, I ruined it. Hernandez ready again with the payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. So Clark works the walk with 1 down. Let's go to Tom Caron. Tom?
Well, Don, thanks very much. It is Patriots Day, so I guess it's fitting that we're here with Patriots owner Bob Kraft, owner of the World Championship Patriots. That's still got to sound pretty nice.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a great treat for us to be here in Fenway Park. I try to come every Patriots Day with my kids and grandkids, and we come here and then we try to catch a little of the marathon. And what's going on around Fenway Park under the new ownership is terrific, and it's a very exciting time for Boston sports fans.
Speaking of the new ownership, John Henry sat down with us. And, John, that opening day when the Patriots are here, your team was here, pretty exciting stuff to start out the season.
It's one of the most special things I've been a part of. It was the electricity here was astonishing when they walked across the field.
I want to ask you real quickly, you guys may have started something. The Bruins and Celtics are back in the playoffs. These guys have taken 2 out of 3. Good time to be a sports fan around here.
Well, anyone who's a Boston sports fan is hoping for it. It makes our lives more pleasant. It makes waking up in the morning better. We're hoping we take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees, and we're going to have a wonderful time here this spring and summer.
Good luck at the draft this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, thank you. And we go back upstairs.
Thanks, Tom. Shea Hillenbrand batting with a count of 1-1. They're referring to that opening day. What a terrific day that was. I can't think of another opening day that was as good as that one here at Fenway Park. Clark with a very short lead at first. Hillenbrand swinging away, and it's 1-2. Seen the pictures of the new home of the New England Patriots at all?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, last night I did. And looks like a beautiful stadium. Going to be tough on field goal kickers, though. You see that one area that's open behind? With that breeze coming through there, it might be difficult.
1-2 to Hillenbrand. Away and away from Posada. Clark will move up to second base. Squibbed by him, and Tony jumps up into scoring position with 1 down.
After Hernandez gave up a couple of hits early on fastball, he's thrown a lot of breaking balls since then, and that one just under the glove of Posada. Good read by Tony Clark, and he'll get himself into scoring position.
Two and 2 to Hillenbrand, who walked in the first, single to center in the third. He has 1 of 7 Boston hits. Red Sox are out hitting the Yankees 7-1 as they bat in the last of the 5th. Hillenbrand pops it up foul. Posada coming over, but he won't have a play. Hernandez has been on since the 4th inning. Yankees don't have any action in the bullpen, so it's his game right now. Working the 4th. He's got an out here in the 5th. Clark at second with 1 away. A 2-2 to Hillenbrand. Line to left field. This is going to get down and roll. 1 hop up off the wall. Clark will scamper home. Hillenbrand's headed to second. Red Sox lead it 3-1.
It seems like Red Sox hitters have just been kind of waiting for that mistake on the breaking ball. A lot of them have been very good away from the hitters, but this time Hernandez leaves it out over the plate, and Hillenbrand again with the hard line drive. He's just not missing right now on balls that are out over the plate. Picks up his second RBI. That's 14 now total for Hillenbrand on the season. Ties him with Ventura for second in the league, 1 behind Jim Thome.
So Hillenbrand with the RBI double, a pair of doubles, a pair of hits, and a walk in this one for Shea. Jason Varitek was 1 for 2 in on the left side. This time we've seen him from the left side, 2 right-handed bats against Andy Pettit. Flag in left center is now still after the wind was swirling out there for the better part of the beginning innings in this one. Outfield straightaway on Varitek. Mason lays off and takes the strike, 1-1. Hernandez had retired 4 Red Sox in a row prior to the walk to Tony Clark. Wild pitch got him to second. A double by Hillenbrand has given the Red Sox another run. Shea came into the day hitting at .385, good for 5th in the AL in batting average. Shea now hitting at .415 with his 2 hits today. The 2-1 to Varitek. Off the end of the bat foul, and it's 2-2. It has to be a different feeling for Shea Hillenbrand. Last year, everything new and fresh, and really hoping to hold on last year after being moved up from AA and for the first time playing above the AA level in the major leagues last year, and got off to a terrific start. Really did not look back. This year feels as if he belongs in the major leagues, and there's a certain confidence there that Shea has brought into the 2002 campaign. Varitek goes the opposite way, foul down the left field line.
I'll tell you what impresses me. Yesterday, Hillenbrand got buzzed pretty good by Mariano Rivera, and that's the kind of pitch that generally sticks with you for a while. Hillenbrand has bounced right back today. He's been on base 3 times, drove in a couple of runs, so shows a little mental toughness also with Hillenbrand. Sometimes it's hard to get those kind of pitches out of your head, and they may affect you for a few days.
He was very fortunate to get out of the way of that one. That really would have done some very serious damage. The 2-2. Varitek lines it to the gap in left center. It'll get down. Hillenbrand will scamper his way home with the 4th Boston run. Red Sox lead it 4-1.
Varitek will pick up his 4th RBI in the season. He'll go down and away to get the breaking ball. Tries to go back door with that slider. Varitek covering the whole plate and drops it out in left center field for the base hit. Sure, Red Sox are pretty happy to see Andy Pettitte have to leave the game, and now starting to do some damage on Hernandez.
And the Yankees with Mel Stottlemyre on the mound have action in the bullpen after the Varitek hit. Ted Lilly, left-hander, up in the bullpen.
Number 7.
Well, Hernandez, in an inning into 3rd now, has given up 4 hits and has been touched for 2 runs in this, the 5th inning. Trot Nixon 1 for 2 so far in the afternoon. Was the first man that Adrian Hernandez faced an inning ago, and Nixon promptly singled to right field. With just 1 out, the Yankees infield still at double play depth. On the ground could be 2. Soriano, the second for 1, on to first. Nixon got down the line extremely well, and that was sort of slow in developing there on the Yankee double play, and it doesn't happen as Nixon's able to beat it out.
Yeah, real slow in developing. It looked like it took Soriano a long time to make that spin and throw to second base to Jeter. Toward the end of the bat, sinker away, and here's Soriano kind of jumping around, and it takes him a while to get that ball. Not much Jeter could do. Tried to rush it up, but not in time to get Nixon. A lot of times you see second basemen catch the ground ball and just spin on one knee and make that throw. It's kind of a jump by Soriano, a jump spin to get the ball to second base. Sounds like a figure skating move, doesn't it?
It does, a jump spin.
Saukow.
We need Dick Button along to tell us how that works.
Triple toe loop.
Ray Sanchez, as Hernandez is going to face another hitter as a result here. Sanchez 1 for 2. Ray's hit came last inning against Adrian Hernandez. The Red Sox had a very promising beginning to the 4th. Nixon and Sanchez back-to-back hits, but then Hernandez got Henderson to strike out. Damon flew out, and then Omar struck out, and Hernandez get out of the inning unscathed. There goes Nixon, and Sanchez fouls it off the right side.
Wide open hole too at between first and second. Soriano was heading in second base to cover on the attempted steal by Nixon, and you can see Sanchez take a shot over there, just fouled it off.
Hernandez from the stretch. Nixon doesn't go this time, and Sanchez goes lunging and strikes out. Fourth K for Adrian Hernandez. Red Sox pick up a pair in the fifth through 5. 4-1 Boston.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have the 4-1 lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Let's take a look at individual leaders as far as their teams go. Stolen base leaders brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass. Tommy Harper, 1973-54. Tris Speaker, 1912 and 13, 52 and 46. The Yankees, it's all about Ricky Henderson, 93 in 1988, 87 and 80. For Ricky the all-time leader. Steals with the New York Yankees.
And of course, both here today. There's Ricky out in left field for the Red Sox. And Tommy Harper, first base coach for Boston. Derek Lowe has struck out 4 Yankees in a row. Derek Jeter did not punch it down as he shortened up to show bunt, and will take ball 1. It has lightened up here considerably off to the left. It almost looks like you're going to maybe see some sunshine here in the very near future, but some of this gloominess may be leaving finally. Jeter's 0 for 2 from the top spot in the Yankees order. And a ground out to the mound and a ground out to third base. Leading off for the 3rd consecutive game for the Yankees. Foul down by the tarp area.
One thing's for certain today, Derek Lowe has had excellent movement on his fastball. Just jammed Jeter, broken bat.
Kick in the 1-2. Jeter slices it foul. Look out. Back into the seats.
Looks like they look at the little kid and they're going to give him the ball.
Get in there in a hurry. Hope he's all right. The 1-2. Jeter will take it. 2-2. Derek Lowe has struck out 4 Yankees in a row, 7 on the afternoon. He is 1 shy of his career high of 8 strikeouts. Did that on July 12th in '97 against Texas. On the way, Jeter does an offer, and it's a full count. Much different pitcher now Derek Lowe is than he was in 1997. Starting experiment has been nothing but a success for him so far. Chop to third. Hillenbrand, a couple of steps to throw and plenty of time, and Jeter is out number 1 of the 6th inning.
The other thing that's been great about Lowe in his first couple of starts, and again today, he's been able to go deep into the ball game. 7 innings in both of his starts against Baltimore and Kansas City. Now working into the 6th here.
73 pitches today. I have a feeling he's going to eat up a lot of innings this year for the Red Sox if everything stays the same. Nick Johnson was hit by a pitch in the 1st. Fly to left in the 4th inning. He started at first base for the Yankees today. On the ground at Ray Sanchez. Another ground ball out. That is 8 in the game now for Derek Lowe, and there's 2 away in the 6th inning.
Exactly what you don't want to do, either a left-handed hitter against Lowe, is try to pull that outside sinker. Try to do that, you'll keep your second baseman very busy throughout the course of the game.
The center fielder, Bernie Williams.
2 down for Bernie Williams, who flied to left in the first, walked and scored the lone Yankee run in the visiting half of the 4th inning. Tough start for Bernie, 188 so far in the year. He's 0 for 5 yesterday, so far 0 for 1 today. Straight opening day starts for the Yankees. 9 in center field, 1 as a DH. And it evens up at 1-1 to Bernie Williams. If he can get on to continue the inning, the DH today, Jason Giambi, waits on deck.
That's how you'd like to face him, leading off an inning. Nobody on base.
He was retired 7 Yankees in a row. It's the sign for Veritek and the 2-1. This is, and it's 3-1. The only walk that he has relinquished on the afternoon was to Bernie Williams in the 4th, and now he's behind Williams 3-1. Williams snared on one hop by Hillenbrand, gets up and throws him out at first. Shea Hillenbrand's done it with the bat and the glove. The Yankees are gone in the 6th. 4-1 Boston.
Back at Fenway, it's a 4-1 Red Sox lead as we move on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, the 2002 official Red Sox magazine provides fans with features on this year's team, members of the 1967 team, nostalgic stories of Fenway Park's 1912 season, a color poster suitable for framing, puzzles, and much more. To receive all 6 in-season issues, send a check or money order for $25 to Red Sox magazine, 4 Yorkie Way, Boston, Mass. 02215.
A great play from Shea Hillenbrand at the end of last inning. Defensively, he has done it today. Offensively as well. The Red Sox take their 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. Nifty play turned in there to rob Bernie Williams of a base hit to end the 6th. Eric Lowe, as a result, has retired 8 in a row and continues to cruise along. Ricky Henderson is 1 for 3 today. 1 of 9 Boston hits. He may have another. Inside the bag at 30 does. Kicks off the boxes. Rondo White plays the carom quickly and will hold Ricky to a single, his 2nd hit of the day. And the Red Sox jump up into double figures in terms of hits, now out hitting the Yankees 10-1.
Well, from what we have seen from the delivery at home plate by Hernandez, this should be an easy steal coming up for Ricky Henderson. Gets the breaking ball right down the third base line. It's going to kick off the wall. That's going to hold Ricky to the single. Ventura in to maybe kill some time. There is action. I believe Steve Carsey has started to loosen up in the bullpen for the Yankees.
It is indeed Steve Carsey up for the first time. Ted Lilly had been up a little bit earlier, but he is not warming any longer. And Adrian Hernandez into his 3rd inning of relief of Andy Pettitte.
I don't think Ricky's going to wait very long here unless we have a different move that we have not seen yet from Hernandez. Ricky should be able to get a great jump.
This one jumps up on the ricochet and hits Damon. Ricky thought about it but didn't take off.
This time a little bit more of a slide step from Hernandez, aware of Henderson at first base. Did not have the high leg kick. Look at Johnny Damon, didn't it?
Right up and got him, I think. Yeah. He doesn't go, and Damon takes the pitch for a ball, 2-0. We heard so much about the slide step and the lack thereof a year ago for Red Sox pitchers. meaning Joe Kerrigan and Jimmy Williams in unison, that they'd rather have a quality pitch, and that perhaps the slide step takes away from perhaps a quality pitch. First, and Ricky is back in time. Bats now with Henderson at first. Nomar Garciaparra waiting on deck. Ricky Bluff didn't go, and Damon pulls the bat back and is ahead 3-0. Two hits today for Ricky Henderson, 2 for Shea Hillenbrand, and 2 for Jason Varitek. Sox out hitting the Yankees 10-1. 4 pitches. Johnny Damon works the walk. A base hit and a walk to open up the last of the 6th inning, and here comes Joe Torre. He's going to go get Carsey. He's not been up long, but long enough. And the walk given up by Hernandez, the second of his outing, and it'll be the last man that he'll face before departing. So Hernandez will leave, and Steve Carsey, who's been warming, will be coming on. The Red Sox have Johnny Damon at first, Ricky Henderson at second, and the meat of the order coming up. Last of the 6th, 4-1 Red Sox. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway on this Patriots Day. Adrian Hernandez done after 2+ innings, 5 hits, still responsible for the 2 men on. Walked 2 and struck out 4, and he's the middleman of 3 arms used today for the Yankees. The new pitcher on, right-hander Steve Carsey into the game.
Appearance number 6 for Carsey. He's worked a total of 5 innings, allowing 7 hits and 3 earned runs, a couple of walks and 5 strikeouts. Carsey making his 2nd appearance of this series. Retired the only batter he faced with a runner at second. That was in the 8th inning in Friday's game last year with Cleveland and Atlanta. Signed a nice long 4-year contract with the Yankees.
Here's Nomar, who doubled in a run in the 1st inning, popped out the 2nd and the 3rd, and struck out in the 4th. The RBI for Garciaparra was the 7th of the season. A .364 hitter against Steve Carsey. The runners that are on are the responsibility of Adrian Hernandez. He watches from the Yankees dugout. This one misses away, ball 1. Andy Pettit left for precautionary reasons, some tenderness in the elbow apparently, and he departed after 3 innings today, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits. The Yankees had to dig into the bullpen in the 4th inning. That just misses, and it's 2-0. Carsey, 29 years old, resides in Scottsdale, Arizona during the offseason. Nomar scribs it off the end of the bat down the first baseline. Johnson will tag the bag alone. Nomar stopped about halfway down the line, and 3 unassisted on the putout, but Henderson up to 3rd, Damon to 2nd, and Manny Ramirez comes to the plate.
Number 24, the designated hitter.
Looks like they're going to walk Manny again for the 2nd time in this game. Even with the right-hander on the mound, they'll try to set up the double play with Clark on deck.
Manny was intentionally walked in the 1st inning by Andy Pettit. He did not score. He was left at 3rd base to end the 1st inning. So the 2nd intentional walk of the ball game for Manny Ramirez. And Tony Clark walked his last time up, but broke an 0 for 23 stint with a base hit and an infield hit at that in the 3rd. So 1 for his last 24, and he'll be batting with the bases loaded and 1 away here in the last of the 6th inning. So the 2nd time today that they have taken the bat out of Manny's hands.
Number 22, the first baseman, Tony Clark.
Red Sox on top 4-1. They have had base runners today, leaving 8 on through the first 5 innings. Now with 1 away, they have the bases loaded. Tony Clark 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Also a former first-round draft choice of the Blue Jays back in 1990. Ready, and the pitch. And a miss with ball 1. I'm sorry, John.
I was going to say it could be a game-breaking at bat here for Tony Clark.
Yankees pen is quiet. Carsey on for the 6th. Clark with a big cut.
Most of the time with fastballs against Clark, they try to go from the belt up. Clark, a good low ball hitter.
Anderson at third, Damon at second, Manny Ramirez at first. I'll say with a very long pause, and now he's ready to work. The 1-1. Clark fouls it off the left side, backing out of play. Tony can stay out of a double play here. On deck is Shea Hillenbrand. And on fire has a couple of hits today, a couple of RBIs, and has turned in a fine defensive effort at third base today for the Red Sox. A great play on Bernie Williams to end the 6th. Arce gets the sign from Jorge Posada, and the 1-2. Clark strikes out. First strikeout for Steve Carsey. For the Yankees, it couldn't come at a better time. That's out number 2.
It's like Carsey turned the fastball over here. Sinking fastball.
The third baseman, Shea.
364 in April for Shea between last April and this April. 2 hits today, 2 RBIs. Bases loaded. And he starts off ahead. Amazing how relaxed he felt. The second game of the series, able to hit the home run and gave the Red Sox the win. Looks relaxed as he prepares for the 1-0 from Steve Carsey. Aiming for a strike, and it's 1-1. Single for Henderson to begin the inning. Johnny Damon walked. Nomar grounded out to move the runners up. Potentially walked Manny. Strikeout of Tony Clark. And it takes us to Shea Hillenbrand with a count of 1-1. Cut from Shea, and he's down 1-2. Now Carsey with the 1-2 pitch. Just missed. 2-2.
Yeah, not by very much. Fastball just off the outside edge. Another chance for Hillenbrand.
Veritek waits on deck, but first a bit of business between Steve Carsey and Shea Hillenbrand. Carsey with the 2-2. Chopped up over the mound. Jeter has it. Flips backhanded and in time. Nifty play from Derek Jeter. Soriano covered, and they're able to force out Manny Ramirez at second to end the inning. The end of 6, 4-1 Boston.
Still a 4-1 Red Sox lead. It could have been more except for a great play by Derek Jeter. We'll call Sports King of Stoneham to make a road trip to New York for a weekend series on May 31st or July 19th with packages starting as low as $89. Sports King, the sports travel experts, will handle everything, including hotel accommodations, tickets to the games. To book your trip, call Sports King of Stoneham today at 781-279-4950 or visit sportsking.com.
Eric Lowe has retired 8 Yankees in a row, has 7 strikeouts through the first 6 innings. 9 ground ball outs. He has given up just 1 hit so far. That was to Jason Giambi in the 4th. He's also walked only 1 Yankee, Bernie Williams, in the 4th inning. And he will start the top of the 7th by facing Jason Giambi, 1 for 2. His hit was to right, a solid hit, and it's the only hit relinquished by Lowe all afternoon. And quickly ahead of Giambi, 0-2. Mason being used as the DH today. Nick Johnson getting the start at first base defensively for Joe Torre's 9. Torre needs just 10 wins to become only the 5th manager in Yankee history to win at least 600 games. And Joe McCarthy, Casey Stengel, Miller Huggins, and Ralph Houck, former manager of yours. The 1-2 misses, and the count is 2-2. He lays off. That's a full count. What's Ralph Houck's nickname? Is the Colonel or something?
The Major.
The Major.
Major Ralph Houck.
I knew it was some sort of military official. Is he tough to play for?
No, he was a player's manager.
Derek Lowe has rung up his 8th Yankee of the afternoon. Ties his career high, and that's 9 in a row retired by the Boston right-hander.
Every one of his strikeouts today, with the exception of 1, have been on the fastball. That just gives you an idea of how good the movement has been on that fastball all day long. The only one I got the strikeout was a curveball of Soriano back in the 5th inning.
You have to go back to 97 to find an equal for his strikeouts output today. This is in the air to left center. Hit pretty well. On the run goes Johnny Damon, back at the wall. Damon will run it down. Jorge Posada sends it in the air to the gap in left center, and Damon runs it down for the inning's 2nd out.
Johnny Damon really has not played very many games in center field here at Fenway, so he's still basically learning out there. You can see him take a peek to the wall. We'll see how much room he has, catches, braces himself, and then goes up against the padding. A lot of different angles out there, obviously, for the center fielder. That takes a while to get used to.
Carl Everett told me that it is the toughest center field that he has ever played in. He was a member of the Red Sox just because of all the angles. He never knew where to stand, he said, because of the triangle situation. Johnny Damon, you're right, has not played much center field here, and he was talking a little bit about it in spring training. As a visiting player, he often played left here, coming in with the Royals and the Oakland A's, and that certainly is a much different situation in left than in center here at Fenway. This is Robin Ventura, who grounds this through the right side, and the Yankees have collected just their 2nd hit in the ball game. It comes with 2 outs here in the 7th. Breaks up a string at 10 in a row retired by Derek Lowe.
You know, when you think of center field, like you're talking about, Don, you know, all the different things that the carom you have to play off the big wall, which is going to deflect back toward center field. Even the center field wall is at an angle. And then, of course, you got the triangle at 420. You've got to back up the left fielder on the ball off the wall. So there's plenty to do out there, and not an easy position to play.
91 pitches for Derek Lowe through 6 2/3. This is a bottom third of the Yankees order. 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. It begins with Rondell White. Shane Spencer's the 8-hitter. Alfonso Soriano's the 9-hitter. So 6 of 8 strikeouts for Derek Lowe have come against the bottom third. And again, they're 0 for 6 with all the Ks. And Lowe is ahead of Rondell White. Lowe reaches in and brings the 1-2. Strikeout number 9 for Derek Lowe. Rondell White's down by way of the K, and the Yankees are gone in the 7th. 7th inning, stretch time, 4-1 Boston.
Seventh inning stretch at Fenway. The Red Sox have the 4-1 lead. Now it's time for Keep Score with Nesson, sponsored by Pepsi. And today's play is going to be that interference play back in the first inning. The ground ball is going to hit Shea Hillenbrand off the bat of Jason Varitek. Now, I'm going to try to score this one. And, you know, I have the very unique style of scoring, and I really don't have any clue how to do this. First of all, I'll give Varitek a base hit. And then I'll put an INT. How about that for interference?
That works.
Okay. And then 3U, right? That would be because he would get the assistant to put out, right, at first base. And I guess I'm going to leave it at that. Now, if you can figure that out, good luck to you.
You have a lot of stuff going on there, Jerry.
It's quite a system I have.
I have to ask you, oh, you got more to read.
For more tips on how to keep score, please don't ask me, but pick up your free Nesson Viewers Guide at Pepsi displays located at your local Shores supermarkets and Star Market.
Now, I have to ask you, is this a system that someone taught you? Or
no, this is my own system, and it only works for me.
You just started out when you're doing the games, just sort of writing it the way you
Actually, the first couple of games I did, I didn't even keep score. I had no clue what was going on in the game. But I tried to do it the way all you professional broadcasters do it, and I just can't. Look at how clean this scorecard is. It's a beautiful thing.
Multicolored.
And mine is all scrambled and all kind of stuff written all over it, but yeah.
It gets the job done. That's all you really need.
Whatever it takes.
4-1 Red Sox as we move to the last of the 7th inning. Derek Lowe has struck out 9 batters today and has given up just 2 hits to the Yankees on 1 run. Steve Carsey back out there again, and Varitek lifts it in the air to right. Spencer got a bad read, but is able to recover for the inning's first out.
Looks like that might be it for Derek Lowe. Garces has been loosening in the bullpen. We saw Lowe go down the tunnel. How many pitches for Derek?
He's around the 95 mark. Let me confirm that.
Number 7.
94 gives him a pitch. 94 for Lowe. This is Garces warming up. Here is Trot Nixon, batting 8th today, 1 for 3. And he takes ball 1. Trot's hit came in the 4th inning off Adrian Hernandez, who in his 2+ innings of work gave up 5 hits and 2 Boston runs. Say the 3rd pitcher used came on and got out of the jam in the 6th inning. Red Sox left the bases loaded and have left 11 men on through 6 innings. Well, the Red Sox have a 3-run lead. They've had plenty of chances today to add to it, and the Yankees have done a pretty good job of getting out of some pretty major jams. The Red Sox left the bases loaded in the 1st and again in the 6th inning. The outside corner, and it's 2-2. Nixon will be followed by Ray Sanchez as Carsey deals with the bottom third of the Red Sox order here in the last of the 7th inning. Yankees will be headed home after the ball game. The Red Sox will be headed north of the border for their first visit of the year to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays, a 2-game series. Nixon works the 1-out walk. First walk given up by Carsey other than the intentional walk. His second walk technically, but the first was intentionally. Manny Ramirez. Ray Sanchez coming up.
Let's see here for Grady Little. Maybe plays a little hit and run with Sanchez at the plate.
Grady Little hoping the Red Sox can take 3 or 4 from the Yankees. On top 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nixon back successfully to the bag. Yankees coming in at 8-5, a half game better than the Red Sox. Red Sox 6-4 coming into today's action. Sanchez in the air to center field, sending Bernie Williams back and over. He'll make the catch, and Nixon will retrace his steps back to the bag at first with now 2 down. So 2 away, and we'll go to the top of the order for Rickey Henderson.
Number 35, the left fielder, Rickey Henderson.
Rickey singled in the first, grounded to second in the second, struck out in the fourth, singled in the sixth. Red Sox out hitting the Yankees 10-2 as they bat in the last of the 7th inning. And Rickey fights off the first one.
Well, unless everybody's fallen down in the marathon, I would think that the winner would be coming across in about 37, 38 minutes from now. Crowd starting to gather down at Kenmore Square.
So the leaders are at the 16-mile mark. Where's Heartbreak Hill? Is that about 20-21? Henderson goes the opposite way, foul down the right field line.
I think it's about 20, I believe. It's all downhill after that, though.
Yeah, once you get through that, you're in good shape. There's a look down into Kenmore Square. How many miles Rickey Henderson has run over the course of his career. To send Paul Carroll off to his calculator.
Well, you can certainly add it up as far as stolen bases go, but it'd be tough on singles and doubles and ground outs and all that.
I'd take stolen bases just so I could have a number. Paul Carroll's going to find it. Wasn't really sure what I was asking, but he's going to get it. I want to know how many miles Rickey has run while stealing bases on this Marathon Monday. Little pop-up off first. Here comes Nick Johnson. He'll make the running catch and foul ground. So Rickey Henderson fouls out to end the last of the 7th inning. Played 7 from Fenway. Red Sox on top 4-1. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. We've played 7 on this Patriots day. 4-1 Red Sox on top. Derek Lowe departs after 7 innings of work, giving up just 2 hits to the Yankees, 1 run. He walked 1 and struck out 9. A career high for Derek Lowe. And he threw 94 pitches before heading back into the clubhouse, and the Red Sox bring on their right-handed reliever, Rich Garces.
5th appearance for Garces. No record yet. He has worked 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits and 4 earned runs. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Opponent sitting .333. His last outing against the Yankees on the 12th, a third of an inning, had a strikeout in that ball game.
He will face John Vanderwall to begin things here. Vanderwall is pinch hitting for Shane Spencer, who had the misfortune of striking out twice today against Derek Lowe. Line drive snared by Tony Clark at first, one away. One pitch, one out. Until that line out by Vanderwall, the pinch hitter, the bottom third of the Yankees order, 0 for 7 with 7 Ks.
Number 12, the second baseman.
Well done against Derek Lowe today. It was another masterful performance from Derek Lowe. Gives up just 2 hits over 7 innings.
And kept that pitch count under 100 through the 7 innings.
Turned it over to the bullpen, moving with a 3-run pad as Alfonso Soriano takes ball 1. Is ready with the 2-0 pitch. Soriano lines it down the left field line. A fair ball headed towards the corner. It'll bang around down there as Ricky Henderson tries to run it down. Soriano pulls up easily into second base with a 1-out double. So he and the rest of the bottom third of the Yankees order glad to see Derek Lowe out of the game, and this was the 3rd Yankees hit.
And Soriano's had a good series. A couple of hits yesterday. Follows back-to-back strikeouts with this double. Certainly happy to see Lowe out of the game. Time he gets done rattling around. Soriano in scoring position at second base.
7th double of the year already for Alfonso Soriano.
That leads the American League in that category.
Here's Derek Jeter, 0 for 3, 3 groundouts. Lowe in 7 innings had 9 groundouts. Headed for third is Soriano. There'll be no throw, and he makes a theft of third base.
Red Sox middle infield is playing very deep. With the 3-run lead, not paying attention to Soriano. Guapo comes home, and a stand-up at third base for Soriano, his 3rd steal of the year.
With 43 last year, the Yankees' all-time single-season rookie stolen base record. I think that Willie Randolph had the record previously at 70 back in 1976 of 37 steals, but Soriano with 43 steals last year, and there's Willie Randolph over his left shoulder. In there for the strike, and it's 3-1. With all that has happened today, the Red Sox still with just a 3-run lead. They've left 11 men on through 7 innings. Jeter sends it in the air well to right, sending Nixon back into a sprint. Track wall, gone. 2-run home run for Derek Jeter, and the Yankees are back within a run in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, you think this Yankee lineup happy to see Lowe out of the game? A line drive out by Vanderwall, the double and a steal, and now the opposite field home run by Derek Jeter.
The first baseman, Nick.
Up in the Red Sox bullpen, Jeter's 2nd of the year, picks up his 9th and 10th RBI, and all of a sudden the Yankees only down by 1.
You surprised to see Derek leave with such a low pitch count?
I thought he might have one more with, the count under 100 pitches.
Here's Nick Johnson, who is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch. I'm not sure. Did he go over 100 in the no-hit bid in Baltimore?
And that was also a very low pitch count, too, I believe.
Foul over by the on-deck circle, and it's 1-2 now to Nick Johnson. The Yankees have cut the Red Sox lead to just a run here in the top of the 8th inning. Derek Jeter, who had been contained, 3 ground ball outs by Derek Lowe, hits a 2-run home run off Rich Garces. The Red Sox, as a result, have Casey Fossum now up in the Boston bullpen. Fossum has already appeared in 6 games on the young season. From the stretch with no one on, the 2-2. Got him. A timely strikeout for Rich Garces, the first of his outing, 2 down. Let's check in with Tom Caron. I'm told he's somewhere in the bleachers. Tom?
Yeah, we are back out here in the bleachers, Don. We are here with our Citizens Bank Not Your Typical Fan. It is Joe Tedesco from Walpole and his mom, Mary. Joe, you're 8 years old, and I understand you were pretty nervous last night. Why?
It's because, well, actually, I was kind of happy because this is my first Red Sox game of the year going to. So I was just really excited that I was going to my first Red Sox game of the year.
Mom said he was up pretty late because they were facing the Yankees, but he's here and cheering him on. Back upstairs.
That's great. Thanks, TC. Well, if you're going to go to your first game of the year, why not make it Patriots Day at Fenway Park? Red Sox and Yankees. And a tight one here in the 8th. Ernie Williams 0 for 2 with a walk. His first look on the afternoon at Rich Garces, who has come on here to work the 8th. Sliced foul down the left field line, back into the seats. And is picked up again. The flag in left center, headed inward right now. Williams sends this down the right field line, and will twist foul. Really always the threat to go deep, as many of these Yankees hitters are. The 1-2 again. This time carved foul off the left side. Hangs it 1-2.
Rooney trying to fight himself out of a slump. But a tough series here against the Red Sox. Did draw a walk today back in the 4th inning.
26 homers last year, 30 the year before for the Yankees. Garces with the 1-2. On the ground, chopped to Clark, plays the hop, and he'll take it alone. Red Sox get out of the 8th, but not before the Yankees pick up a pair of runs on the 2-run shot from Derek Jeter. It's now 4-3 Red Sox. Back at Fenway Park as we prepare for the last of the 8th. It's a 1-run contest now. And a terrific day today from the Red Sox starter Derek Lowe. Worked the first 7 innings. He would strike out 9 Yankees. The bottom third of New York's order comes up with 7 of the 9 between White, Spencer, and Soriano. Lowe left with a 3-run advantage. It's now a 1-run lead. You see Derek's line: 7 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, the 9 Ks. Been a terrific day for Shea Hillenbrand. A double and 2 runs batted in, and some nifty defense at third base. Nomar Garciaparra's wall ball RBI double back in the first. And you see the strikeout numbers for the bottom third of the Yankees order. Andy Pettitte leaves after 3 innings, a precautionary situation in which he felt some tenderness in his elbow, and departed after 3 innings, giving up 2 runs. The Yankees have used Andy Pettitte, Adrian Hernandez, and Steve Carsey. They will now move to their 4th pitcher of the day and bring on former Red Sox left-hander Mike Stanton into the game.
Stanton making his 5th appearance of the season. He's worked 3 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and 1 earned run, a walk and 3 strikeouts. 2nd appearance of this series. Worked in Friday's game, 1 earned run in 2/3 of an inning, giving up a couple of hits, because it was Maloney that had the base hit off Stanton on a breaking ball. One other change: John Vanderwall takes over in right field for Shane Spencer.
Well, Garcia worked a couple of innings, did not give up any hits nor any runs. Walked 2, one intentionally, and struck out a hitter. And Shane Spencer was hit for last inning by Vanderwall, now on the bench. Stanton walking counterclockwise around the mound after receiving the baseball back. Dealing with Johnny Damon, Nomar Garciaparra, and Manny Ramirez scheduled in the inning. Johnny is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt and a walk today. Batting second with Ricky Henderson leading off. Ricky's got a couple of hits at the top of the Boston order today. The outside corner, and Damon in the hole, nothing in 2. Mike Stanton, 34 years of age, born in Houston, Texas, resides in Magnolia, Texas during the offseason. Damon reaches out and slaps that foul off the left side.
Mike Stanton made 76 appearances a year ago for the Yankees.
In terms of active pitchers, he is 5th in terms of games. Jesse Orosco at 1,131 leading the pace. John Franco, Dan Plesac, Mike Jackson ahead of him, but 756 appearances coming into this season for Mike Stanton. The 0-2 to Johnny Damon, doesn't chase, and it's 1-2. In terms of the postseason between Atlanta and New York, his work with Boston in '95, 20 World Series games pitched for Mike Stanton, so he's got a lot of postseason experience under his belt as well. Only Whitey Ford appeared more games, 22 World Series games. Came to Boston July 31st of 1995 from the Atlanta Braves, where he spent the bulk of his time, and now Stanton's been a member of the Yankees since 1997. Ahead of Johnny Damon, 1-2 here in the last of the 8th. Red Sox trying to obtain some insurance. Damon lines it down the right field line, foul beyond canvas alley. Looks like the crowd is really starting to gather down there in Kenmore Square from our spot here. We could probably call the leaders as they come in, Jerry, from here. Probably about 10 minutes away from the first group arriving down there. Damon takes it. Lengthy at bat is even the count of 2-2. Damon trying to get on with the meat of the Boston order coming up. Garciaparra, then Ramirez, scheduled here in the 8th. Down the line and by the lunging third baseman. Quickly over to get it is White. He'll keep Damon to just a single as he's able to send it down the line and out of the reach of Robin Ventura at third. And for Johnny Damon, his first hit, Boston's 11th hit of the afternoon.
Pretty good hitting there by Johnny Damon. That pitch down and away, the fastball. Damon just kind of covers the plate, reaches out and punches it right down that third base line. Rondell White was playing very shallow and close to the line, so he's able to quickly get over there and keep Johnny Damon to just a single. Well, usually you see a ball go down in that area, and you're talking about a double for Damon.
Well, now after the base hit by Johnny Damon, the only member of the Red Sox not to have a hit today is Manny Ramirez, who's been intentionally walked twice. Here's Nomar, 1 for 4 with an RBI. He doubled in the first to drive in Ricky Henderson with Boston's first run. Check on Damon, and Johnny's back. Mike Stanton with the pitch. Nomar takes it up and away. Ball 1. Fossum had been up in the pen. Better being up there now for the Red Sox. The 1-0 last foul off the right side. Fossum was up last inning when Garces gave up a 2-run home run to Derek Jeter that brought the game back within a run. Yeah, there's Iggy. Urbina now with 5 saves on the season. May have an opportunity to pick up his 6th. Stanton working from the stretch as Damon gains his lead at first and roll over. Johnny's back in plenty of time. Posada lays down the sign to Mike Stanton and the 1-1. Nomar hits it on the ground to Jeter. Could be 2 to second to Soriano for 1. On to first. They turn it. A 6-4-3 double play, and there's 2 outs here in the last of the 8th.
Last hop, a nice one there for Derek Jeter. Comes up about belt high, and Soriano gets himself turned around for that throw to first base before the slide of Johnny Damon. 2 big outs there for the Yankees.
On the first double play on the afternoon for either side. Omar 1 for 5 today, and it brings up Manny Ramirez. Manny has been intentionally walked twice, grounded out, and struck out. And again, he's the only member of the Red Sox not to have a hit today. Leading the charge in that category, Ricky Henderson, Shea Hillenbrand, and Jason Varitek each have 2 hits. Base is empty as Stanton brings the 1-0. Manny hits it in the air opposite field to right, sending Vanderwall back. Plenty of room. And he makes the catch to retire the side. We're headed to the 9th with the Red Sox on top 4-3. NESN's exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. And by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank.
Top of the 9th there at Fenway. Red Sox have the 4-3 lead. We remind you this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Rich Garces works the 8th inning, giving up the 2-run home run to Derek Jeter. He gave up 2 hits, did not walk anybody, and struck out 1. And as we head to the 9th, as anticipated, here is Huguet Urbina.
5 saves for Urbina, one of 4 players in the American League with 5 saves. Rivera, Guardado, and Bob Whitman of Cleveland.
Urbina picked up the save on the 13th against the Yankees, an inning, allowing 1 hit in that game.
And the 1-run advantage as we head to the 9th, and it'll be Jason Giambi, Jorge Posada, and Robin Ventura scheduled to face Urbina in the 9th. Parsons did a good job of getting out of the 8th after the 2-run home run. He was able to strike out Nick Johnson and induced a ground out by Bernie Williams to end the 8th. Giambi's 1 for 3. He had one of the 9 strikeouts put together by Derek Lowe in his 7 innings of work today. Giambi cooled on that pitch, and it's 1-1. gyration from Urbina after that pitch. Not quite the fist pump. A little shoulder motion from Oogie as he got it by Jason Giambi. Check swing foul off the bat. It's 1-2. The Red Sox trying to take 3 out of 4 from Joe Torre's Yankees. This first series of the year of 19 games between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Urbina gets the sign from Veritek. And the 1-2 pitch. Up top, and it evens out at 2-2.
See there, Veritek almost standing up straight. Wanted that high fastball from Urbina. See if Giambi would chase it.
Giambi to pull Hillenbrand way off the bag at third. The 2-2. Popped up foul back at the plate. Veritek coming back, but he won't have a chance as it lands on top of the screen.
I think we've noticed the last couple of outings for Urbina, he's thrown more sliders to left-handers instead of just that fastball and changeup.
A very quick work of the Baltimore Orioles last weekend, in which he racked up 3 quick saves in his first 3 save opportunities in 37 pitches. And a blown save against the Kansas City Royals, and he is against the Yankees again after notching a save on Friday. He's ready with the 2-2 to Giambi. Again fouled off, and Giambi stays alive. Now, this is certainly a big out, not only because it would be the first out here in the 9th and the first hitter, but also because of who he's dealing with in the presence of Jason Giambi. Posada and Ventura would be next. Urbina again with the 2-2. Right back at him and through. It is Garcia Parra back at second, and Garrett throws him out. Omar was positioned perfectly. Mentioned that they had him to pull, and Garcia Parra right around the bag at second, able to play it easily, and Giambi's out number 1 of the 9th.
Number 20.
See Omar very close to second base. A line drive right over the foot of Urbina. Good thing he didn't knock it down. That might have deflected it right to Nomar for the first out here in the 9th inning.
He's not lined up like that. That's into center field. The Red Sox had it defensively aligned correctly. Here's Jorge Posada 0 for 3 with a run driven in. He's ground out in the 4th, brought in the Yankees' first run. He'll send it into center field. Posada didn't waste any time. Goes up hacking at the first pitch and has a 1-out single.
That looked like the slider that time also from Urbina. Not crushed by Posada, but certainly good enough to get the base hit. Earl Williams will come in to run for Posada.
New York, now running for Posada at first base, number 17, Gerald Williams. Gerald Williams now running.
Remember, you had a game end in this series on a man being thrown out at second base. I don't think you'll see that again.
The third baseman, Robin
Alfonso Soriano thrown out by Veritek. Robin Ventura is 1 for 3, second in the American League in home runs with 5. Hit one here yesterday. And then a quick check on Gerald Williams. Came up first through the Yankee system, back with the Yankees again after leaving the Tampa Bay Devil Rays last year. Red Sox infield a double play depth with 1 away in the 9th and a 1-run lead. Urbina deals. And it misses. Veritek held it there for a split second, but it's ball 1. After Ventura, Rondell White would be next. He waits on deck. Urbina falls behind 2-0. Lowe at the first 7 innings and waits to find out if he will have picked up his second win of the year. He's turned it over to the bullpen. Gus has won an inning, giving up 2 runs, and now Urbina takes a quick check on Gerald Williams, who's back in plenty of time. Again, a check on Williams. His lead has not been terribly large, but Oogie has been most concerned with his progress at first. And Ventura patiently waits at the plate with a count of 2-0.
No doubt that Williams will be going on this 2-0 count. You kind of want to leave that one for a guy that the guy at the plate, Robin Ventura.
Urbina deals. Ventura swings and lines it down the right field line. There's going to be trouble towards the corner. Gerald Williams still running as Dixon digs it out of the corner. Williams will be stopped at third on the double by Robin Ventura. With just 1 out in the 9th, the Yankees are in business with 2 in scoring position.
Ventura remains hot. 2 more hits in this game today. Got on top with a high fastball and puts it on the line in that corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention,
Nixon
please.
had to be very careful down here in the corner. The ball gets by him. It's probably going to tie the ball game.
But the Yankees now it's second and third.
14, Enrique Wilson.
Enrique Wilson will run for Robin Ventura at second base.
And now batting, number 27, the left fielder, Rondell White.
And Rondell White will be the next hitter. Varitek and Urbina talk about how they will deal with Rondell White. Nobody warming in the Boston bullpen right now. Rondell White has had a tough day, but of course that was spent facing Derek Lowe, who struck out 3 times against Derek Lowe and was the last batter that Derek faced before departing at the end of 7 innings. The first one misses inside, ball 1. White with runners in scoring position at 2-11 in the young season. First base is vacant as Urbina brings the 1-0. That's a strike, 1-1.
Red Sox playing back in the infield with the exception of Tony Clark at first base. Willing to give up the tying run, but certainly not the go-ahead run.
John Vanderwall, who came on for Shane Spencer last inning, is on deck. The 1-1, 1-2. The potential tying run 90 feet away. The potential go-ahead run in scoring position at second base and Enrique Wilson. And the fans coming to their feet at Fenway trying to cheer Oogie Urbina on. He's ready with the 1-2. He got him. Big strikeout for Urbina. If he ever needed one, now's the time. 2 down.
Now let's see how the Red Sox handle this now with Vanderwall at the plate and first base open. Do they walk him to take a chance with Soriano? Forget the potential go-ahead run is already at second base. That looks like the slider there from Oogie, and Rondell White, who's had a tough afternoon, certainly breaks the plane.
So after back-to-back base hits, a big strikeout of Rondell White. Vanderwall's 0 for 8 against Oogie in his career, and Urbina misses with the first one. Vanderwall came on to pinch hit for Shane Spencer in the 8th, and he lined out softly to Tony Clark at first base. Urbina with the 1-0. Vanderwall swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Red Sox won games 1 and 2. The Yankees came back with a victory here yesterday. And the Red Sox 1 out away from taking 3 out of 4 from New York. The tying run at third and Gerald Williams. The potential go-ahead run at second and Enrique Wilson 2 down. And Urbina gets the sign. Ready with the 1-1. Missing 2-1. Veritek will head out and meet Urbina halfway to the mound. Walking counterclockwise around the mound. Now returns to the top of the hill as Tony Cloninger looks on. Well, Patriots Day dandy here at Fenway Park has taken us to the 9th. The 2-1 from Urbina. 2-2. Fenway comes to its feet. Urbina 1 pitch away from ending it. Urbina stares in to find out what he'll throw. Veritek lays down the sign. Urbina with the 2-2. In the dirt, Veritek nicely boxing it down.
How about that play by Veritek? Potential tying run at third base. Wow. He set up inside. Watch him shift over and make the catch on that. Wow. Terrific play there by Veritek.
First base is vacant. And Alfonso Soriano waits on deck. We don't have to throw him something decent here as Urbina throws the rubber and stares in again. The payoff pitch. Over the outside corner, he struck him out. Red Sox take 3 of 4 from the Yankees in dramatic fashion. Who get Urbina. Strikes out Johnny Vanderwall to end things in the 9th. And the Red Sox in the first series of the year against the Yankees take 3 of 4 and a terrific win on this Patriots Day 2002. Lowe will pick up his second victory of the year. 7 strong innings, giving up just the 1 run on 9 Ks. And Oogie Urbina comes on in dramatic fashion to pick up save number 6 of the season. So a terrific Patriots Day victory here for the Red Sox. Their 3rd win of the series against the Yankees. The Red Sox will better their record to 7-4 and leapfrog over the Yankees by half a game.